Pat, um, as most of you know, Pat just retired from 28 years as a colonel in the Army. When you're in the Army, especially that long, you go a few places. How many countries?
This was my 43rd.
43 countries. Iraq, Afghanistan, all over the place. And so it's an understatement to say you've seen some things. How is Guatemala different?
Yeah, so when we got there, the depravity and the poverty wasn't a great issue for me emotionally because I've been I understand how to desensitize myself to that while you work in those environments. And, I've built schools in Thailand, done work in Nepal that was very similar, humanitarian work, even work here, during Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. And so on this trip, it was a bit different, though, because when we go on those types of missions that we call nation building, they have a different sense of purpose. And so, the work leading up to what we did on Wednesday afternoon at our dedication was very familiar, and it wasn't a challenge or a struggle. It was reconcilable, right? For me, it was just another kind of, I don't want to say day at the office, but it was what I knew. It was very familiar to me. What became very unfamiliar was when we stood on the front porch, and I believe it was the father whom we turned the keys over to, made a statement. He said, "I may never see you all again, and I don't have great expectations of that until we all arrive together one day in heaven." And when he kind of baselined who we are and what it is our purpose is and what it is we were there to do, it just all came to light to me. Because, we read a devotion to the boys out of Acts that talked about it. It doesn't matter what nation you're from. Men of all nations and women of all nations will meet in the kingdom. And so to have that opportunity to codify what the kingdom was to him and what it meant to be brothers and sisters in Christ was just the greatest thing ever. And so for every day out of pocket that I've spent, every day out of my own home that I've spent, that 5 days specifically in that moment, and Brian and I talked a lot about reconciliation and how do you consume all of what's going on there. That one opportunity just brought the purpose of it real. And it was kingdom driven, and it was an incredible group that we had to work with, and it was an incredible group of people we had the opportunity to serve.
Katrina, just to share with you guys a little bit about